Hello, this is Lino Tados, and in this video I'll show you really quickly how to create news and press releases in Sitefinity. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to bring in here a brand new site. Hopefully everybody can see that. And I'm going to go to content, and notice these are all the modules in Sitefinity that are built in. I'm going to click on news. So far I don't have any news items or press releases or anything like that. I'm going to go ahead and create one really quickly. We'll say create new. We'll call this one, for instance, my first press release. Alrighty. So you give it a title and you come into the content in here, and you'll notice the editor automatically turns on, so you can actually use bold, italic, include images, videos, and tables, HTML, justification, whatever you want. I'm going to cheat a little bit. Instead of having to write a full press release, I'm going to go click on my free plugin that I have, and that everybody can install it, whether you have Chrome or Firefox or Edge or whatever. It's called Lorem Ipsum. It's a free plugin, and you get to choose how many paragraphs, and each paragraph how many sentences you have. I'm going to choose 4 paragraphs with 10 sentences. All right, let's copy this, and this is just some blah blah blah. Doesn't mean anything. It's just what we call it the filler, so I can see how it will look on the screen. So that is my title, there is my content. Now I need some summary. So let's go ahead and cheat a little bit. I'm going to take maybe one of these sentences in here. Let's copy that, and I'm going to make that the summary. So I can actually see how this will look as a view at the end. I also can actually categorize or tag the specific press release using categories and tags. This is the way to create taxonomies in Sitefinity. I can click on the plus sign in here. I don't have any categories yet, so I'm going to create one. We'll call it, for instance, press. Okay, you can call it whatever you want, and you can actually create another one. Click on the plus sign. You can make that press release part of multiple categories if you want. I can also click on tags. We'll do the same thing. We'll say press, push enter, and we'll say news, push enter, and you can keep going if you would like. That will work as well. The difference between the two actually is that categories can have a parent-child relationship between the different categories. In tags, you do not have that. That's why in categories we call it this a hierarchical taxonomy, and tags are a flat taxonomies. They cannot have a relationship between each and every single one. So it all depends on what you really need to categorize on. All right, and finally in the addition, I can actually put my name in here like Lino Tadros, and the source name, maybe this is coming from ESPN. Let me put it CNN then, okay, fine. Let me go ahead and put that, just in case you want to have a source for your press release, and also a link if you want to as well. Finally, you get to change the URL. Let me give you a little bit of a hint in here. So one of the questions you might be asked, can you have 2 press releases with the same exact title in Sitefinity? And the answer, believe it or not, is yes. I don't know if you want to do that, but nothing will keep you from creating 2 different press releases or 2 different blog posts with exactly the same title. And that might shock you a little bit, but the important thing yet to remember is that this is not something that has to be unique as far as Sitefinity is concerned. There are 2 other things that have to be unique. First of all, behind the scene, there will be a GUID, which is a 128-bit number in the database that will identify the specific press release. That, of course, has to be unique. Plus, if I go down a little bit in here, you'll notice there is a URL. That is also have to be unique. So the URL is always created based on the title. So if you create 2 different press releases with the same title, it's going to try to create the same exact URL, and that will not work. That will give you an error because that has to be unique. That doesn't make any sense to have 2 URLs exactly the same that mean different things. So you will always have to click on edit in here and just maybe change the URL if you want to as well. You can actually add additional URLs in case you want to have a 301 or a 302 reroutes, maybe an old press release that used to be before Sitefinity, and you do not want to lose the bookmarking or the rating in Google or something like that. You can actually add the old URL that people used to use, even though it does not exist anymore, but that it will automatically reroute you to the correct URL, which is a great feature. You can also include it in the sitemap automatically in case this is a very important press release for you. You can be brave and allow comments, especially for public companies. This might not be a very good idea for your press releases to allow the public to comment. Some people can be very mean out there, but maybe for blog posts or events, yes. But for press releases, most public companies will not allow comments on press releases. But we'll leave it on for right now, and we'll say publish. All right, I got myself my first press release. If I go backwards once, you'll notice that my first press release is available right here. Okay, I can actually create another one just so I can create a list, but I'm not going to actually do that. I'm just going to create an action, and I'm going to use this great feature in Sitefinity called duplicate. The only thing I'll have to do is probably change something so I can differentiate between them. We'll say my second press release. I will leave everything else the same. Notice that the URL will change though, which is a good thing. Otherwise this would be a problem. And I'm going to publish this one as well. I don't even need to go backwards. I can duplicate straight from this screen itself. So I can go click on the ellipsis button at the top and I can say duplicate for a third time. So this one will be my third press release. Okay, everything else is good. We'll say publish, and now I got myself a list, the 3 different press releases in the system. Don't let the green check mark fool you though. Okay, even though this means it has been published, a lot of people think, okay, if it's published, where is it on the site? Well, published is something, and showing it on the in one of the pages is something completely different. So this does not mean that these press releases show up anywhere. You still have to use a news widget to be able to display all of these. So if I go back to my pages, for instance, let's open up the home MVC for my home page in here. All right, and maybe I want to put it right underneath this hello to everyone. So I'm going to look here on the right side under content, and all the way at the bottom before the last one is called news. So if I grab this news and put it right underneath my content block, notice it will automatically display the press release. It will put actually the view of the third, the second, and the first. It will be sorted in last published will be all the way at the top. You can change that, of course, using the edit. But in this video, I just wanted to show you really quickly how you can create news and press releases and displaying them on the screen on any page if you would like. Hopefully that was useful to you, and we'll see you again in a future video with Lino TV. Thank you.